Voll? Drugi na kamerę. Mam był. Człowiek będę mówił, że człowiek będę mówił, że patrzysz kamerę. O life. Welcome to PwC Krushevo. This is day 2, task 2. Pilots are getting ready, they are getting their trackers. And we have the two winners of yesterday, Baptiste Lambert and José Rebello.
Hi.
Welcome, hi.
Thank you.
So, you both came first yesterday. So, how was the race, Baptiste? Well, how did you manage to get first?
So I was trying to be conservative, to stay always high with a group, never being alone, because the conditions were a little bit tricky.
Okay.
And so I managed to fly all the time really high without taking any risks. And so at the end, until the end, I was always high in control. And since I was higher, I was the first to go to goal with Jose.
You came, Jose, you came like the same time into goal, or you get some leading points, or how was it?
So he was faster than me because he's a little bit heavy on his glider, so he was a little bit faster, and it compensates with the leading points I had, so we have the same points.
Okay. What was your tactic to be in front?
I used a little bit more of the same tactics, so always managing the group in relation to the conditions, because the conditions can change a lot. You can have very weak thermals, strong cores, and so I was managing all the time. And the last leg, for the last 10 points, we had some headwind, so at that time I managed to be a little bit more conservative, and I got a stronger core until a higher altitude, so I was the highest one. And I continued to go to the turn point because everyone was lower and starting to get behind. So I just went maximum performance to the next turn point. And then the gaggle followed me. We joined in the last turn point. And then we did the last glide. And we were together starting the glide. And when he started to accelerate, we were accelerated already. But when he started to go faster, I just thought, okay, I'm just gonna put speed bar. I think I will make it, so it's full speed all the time. So I put full speed all the way into the speed section.
But did they notice right? You fly the submarine?
Yes.
Did it give you an advantage yesterday? You don't have this.
No.
No, it's just a few pilots in the world that can have it.
For sure it gives an advantage, but in these conditions the lines are really important because one bad line you can lose 400 meters, and that for sure the submarine can't do anything about it. But yeah, for sure during the conflict helps.
Tell me about the area, Krushevo. How many times have you been here?
3 times.
You 3 times?
3 times as well.
Also 3 times?
Yes,
So
European Championship, World Championship, and now this level.
So how do you like it?
I think it's one of the best places in the world, for sure.
Same opinion.
In consistency, conditions, we have an awesome playground here, so it's perfect. You can fly pretty much every day. All the other big competitions, we flew almost every day, many hours. It's an incredible place.
So I will spoil a little bit the task of today. Today we are going to Prespa first. So it's southwest from here, quite far away, quite a tricky line. It's out of the valley here. So have you been flying to that direction in previous tasks? Have you done that?
Yeah, twice. So I know a little bit, but I know that it is tricky. So yeah, should be careful.
You should be careful. Okay, thank you very much for the interview, and maybe see you next days again.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you. See you later.
Thank you.
So we have still some interviews, and with us we have Galen Kirkpatrick from USA. Yeah,
Go, Galen!
yeah, thanks Adele. How are you doing? How many times have you been in Krushevo?
This is my first time.
It's your first time in Krushevo. Please share your first impressions of the first.
It's amazing. I got here maybe 3 or 4 days early. I was pretty jet lagged, but I got to free fly around the valley and kind of check it out. We just got done with our national comps in Chelan, which is like pretty classic flatland flying. So so I feel like pretty tuned up and ready for that.
How is it compared to Chelan? I haven't been there never, so I know they have epic task about 200 kilometers and stuff like that. I need to come someday. But
Yeah, we didn't have any crazy tasks like that this year because the conditions weren't quite right. We didn't have wind, and then gas was really expensive, so
Yeah.
we kind of played around and did out and backs mostly. But it's definitely a little stronger than it is here, at least this year. I know usually it's hotter here, and so I imagine when it's hotter, it's probably a little bit more booming. But yeah.
how did you manage to have a good result yesterday? Tell me. So what was your tactics? What was your success?
Well, it's really nice to race at this level because you have so many good pilots all working together. So that was my goal. Basically, was just to fly and use everyone else as best I could. And then I managed to make up some ground on our glide to goal by just choosing a little bit more upwind of a line, and it was pretty buoyant. And I should have left sooner.
Excellent. Okay, I wish you good luck today. Have a nice flight.
Cool. Thank you.
Briefing is starting like in 5 or 10 minutes, and see you then later in the air.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. And now we have on the last interview for today our local matador,
Local matador.
Alexander Gatzeski-Gats. Hi. How are you?
Great.
Great?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a good race yesterday?
Yes, pretty good. I was 48 at the end actually, but in World Cup it's only 3 minutes behind the first one.
3 minutes behind and you are in top 50.
Yeah. It's like this. This is, I mean, we have 70 plus pilots with A letter, so what can you expect?
Tell me, you fly a lot in Krushevo. You are local, actually you are from Skopje, but this is your local flying site. What advantage do you have to the other competitors that come here?
What advantage? To be honest, not quite much advantages. Maybe if I get low, will I don't know, find some lead that they may not find it. But otherwise, we are flying in group most of the time. I cannot experiment while we have this race, so not much advantage.
Not much advantage.
Not much.
But you still managed to fly good, so what was your recipe?
The recipe, just stay with the giggle, try to stay as high as possible, try to feel what is the next move of the giggle, and I think get good lines after the climb.
So today we fly towards Prespansko Lake.
Yes,
Prespansko Lake.
Yeah.
It's a line that is not so often flown. What would be your recommendation to other pilots? What to do to get there safely?
Again, the same thing, to stay with the giggle because we will have few options, maybe to go from the front, from the back, maybe from the middle, but we will see how the sky will look like and we will decide which route we're going to take.
Excellent. Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
And see you in the air.
My
Have a
pleasure.
nice result.
Yeah,
Have a nice flight.
Thanks.
So this was it. Thank you very much. I'll now grab the tripod and go to the briefing, which will start in like a few minutes, and we check out the task for today. So this was all with the help of my wife, who was dragging the pilots to the interview place. Here we go. Meet director Goran is waiting. He will scream now. I'm sorry. Okay, let's check the task first. So we have a 92.3 kilometer task, which goes first to the southwest, to the Prespa Lake, then back into the valley south of Prilip, and back to official landing in Krushevo. It's a big FIE triangle of 92.3 kilometers. And Goran, the meet director, is already prepared for the action.
Imagine, il y a une falaise avec une petite boîte là.
Les plages sur les auparavant, ça doit être combien Les auparavant, ça doit être vraiment. C'est marrant parce que tu regardes le vent, mais regardez le vent. Le vent comme ça, en haut, c'est Vielleicht auch Ammoniak, bis auf 3 Also von da bis zum südlichen sind die 33. Ja, hast recht. Das meine ich halt vom Start zum Ende bis zum südlichen 33. Ja, hast recht. Das ist 30 und 30. 28, also so rüberziehst. Ja, unter 30. Dann kommst du dann doch nicht dazu. Nico.
Let's go!
Là, pour l'instant, il y a
Warte so langsam, dass man die raus hat.
Okay, guys.
Non. Ratenir.
Non, c'est que avec les grandes tailles, en fait, je pense que moi, c'est le ressenti, j'ai l'impression d'avoir une taille. Mais tu vois, c'est comme moi, c'est un peu ça, genre.
That's Johnny. She knows it. She knows it.
Okay. Okay, guys. May I have your attention, please? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second task, second day of the Paragliding World Cup in Krushevo, Macedonia. Before I go with whatever else, task committee decided to change the task for today in the last moment. So please, if you scan the task with XC track or if you're using something else, we changed the turn point A11. It's marked here. It is just a large cylinder from 15 to 16 kilometers. Task committee saw that the turn point itself was at 1,600 meters, too high. So they enlarged the cylinder in order to have the turn point lower, which is, I think, a correct move. But anyway, it's marked on many places. Please be careful not to mess up your task today. In reality, you can only go deeper, so you will have the turn point, but it's a waste of time. Okay. Before we go with, we have a good timing today. We will probably keep the timings as yesterday because we have more or less a similar flying conditions, something within the frame of what we had yesterday. I will go with few informations to keep you updated what's going on in Krushevo or with our at this moment for the Corona update. So we had one pilot self-isolated. He tested this morning positive again, so I advised him to stay in his room, so he is not among us today, and we will not have issues with potential spreading of the virus. Second pilot approached us yesterday with some symptoms. We delivered him a free test, and he is luckily negative, but he is still cautious, of course, and following the situation. So that applies to everyone. The second case is truly sportive behavior, react in time, not after all the symptoms as visible. Please, if you need any assistance, just come to us, or you can self-test by yourself, but do it in time, not when it's obvious and probably too late for the others. Okay. General Assembly. Yesterday we had a small meeting with the team here. We're gonna put it. We're gonna make it on Tuesday, 19th of July. Laura already spread some material to you. We will update you with if we have something new. We have elections for the new committee members. We have plenty of things to discuss. It will be after the task. We will probably fly on that day, so we will try to adjust the timing. We will not compromise the task. For sure, we're going to fly to the maximum. But it will need probably a little bit of extra effort from your side to attend this meeting. We will try to prepare it well and to be as short as possible, but don't forget it's important for our work to have by the book approved actions by the members. Today we have the first day when the priority will work, so I have priority tags with me here. So I will read at the end of the briefing top 10 pilots from today. 3 girls and the Task and Safety Committee, all of them, they will get the tags to enter the gate at any time they would like to go. Yesterday, in the World 2019, we had days like this, and it was the big issue was aggressive flying. For a while, we, as I said in the briefing, in the general briefing, we had kind of this issue somehow not being so visible or so exposed, but it's coming back in conditions like yesterday when we have a big group, goggles, especially in the beginning of the task. Everybody knows how dangerous it is. It is not popular to say, but I will say it. Don't forget that exactly on this side, exactly in this kind of conditions, we have double fatality because of collision in the air. Those guys fell on the takeoff in front of 1,000 people. It was a weekend, they fell here, it was total disaster for the paragliding in Macedonia, for the people, for the families, for everyone. So, I cannot find another words. This is how it ends. It was like this, it was like this, it was this, and finally somebody will be heavily hurt. So don't do it. Everybody knows what is at stake, everybody knows what it is, but with such a high pilot level, if we send the message of aggressive flying that is like normal in the World Cup, everybody will follow. So it's personal responsibility of each of you to act sportively and to respect the others. If that is not working, the next thing is penalty, which is unpopular, but there is no other way. So before we reach that moment when somebody is totally pissed off and make a complaint that I'm going to penalize, for sure, if it's proven, please don't do it. It's not so difficult to avoid it. From time to time, it's a mistake, but yeah. Unfortunately, unsportive behavior is not ending up with aggressive flying. There is also respect to each other. Yesterday we had also kind of not flying related aggressive behavior of two pilots. I was in the middle of it. Everything went well, luckily, but if you push it too hard, it was very close to a fight, a proper fight. This is not the way. We are the best pilots in the world. Basically, you are the best pilots in the world. You are setting the standard. So respect to each other, especially in the crowded takeoff, in some crazy situations where the glider is falling up to the other, when somebody is stepping on your lines. Yes, it's not nice, but act nicely. Because I believe nobody is doing this intentionally. It is kind of a mistake or it's kind of an incident. So please behave in a nice way. It will help everyone to have peaceful takeoff, to have a peaceful time in the air, instead of flying with some aggressiveness and nervousness since the first second of the flight. Okay, the good news. Altitude limit today, 3,500 meters. It's yesterday we were optimistic that we'll go higher. Martin explained the meteor for today. It's good to have it. Maybe we'll go higher. Forecast will be better regarding this. So if you have an opportunity, please, you can use this full potential of our site. We never have more altitude by the law. We had once 4,000 meters, but that's an incident. So this is most likely the highest altitude that we want to experience. I mean, possibility to go that high in this event. Okay, so now Martin will go with the meta.
Okay, hi everyone. As Goran mentioned, today we have slightly better forecast than yesterday regarding the height of the cloud. But even yesterday we could see that some of the clouds were nice and high as predicted around 3,000 meters. We just couldn't reach them with that inversion layer that wasn't predicted at 2,000. So today, again, we don't have a prediction for inversion layer, but to be honest, nothing has much changed since yesterday. If anything, we have less wind. So in theory, it can mean a little bit more stable conditions. But this is why we set the today's task more into the mountains, because by forecast, these will be the best working areas, and the best trigger points will go off the mountainy areas and highest cloud base. The winds are very weak, low level, very low level. We're going to have east, southeast winds around 5 km an hour. The wind doesn't change much, but as in strength, it's between 5 and 10 all over the place. But as you go higher, it switches from southeast to east and then to northeast, and finally very high it's going to be north and northwest. But in general, it's almost no wind, so I don't think that this is a big out of big significance. We're gonna have again some cloud forming on the mountain areas, especially more to the north and west from us, which is where the south goes actually, and the valley and the east part of the valley, even the eastern mountains today should be completely blue. Do we have any questions regarding the weather?
Do we expect any valley breeze in those valleys where we fly?
Not really.
Okay. Okay, guys. So now we'll go with the task. As you can see, before I go into details, this is a very open style task. It's a triangle, so minimum number of turn points, and this is what I like the best, because we tried million ways how we open possibilities, big cylinders, this and that, and then obviously pilots are flying on the optimized route. It could be the case today, but the proper way how you give options is when you make these endlessly long legs, so at least you have people that will try something different when they're low, when they're in crisis. So we believe that it will be not a train-like task. So we will start as usual from D01, which is our usual takeoff during this week. And then we will use exit cylinder, which is we are already in the cylinder. So we will exit from the above the takeoff with a radius of 23 kilometers around the B22. From that point, we will go to the south in the long leg, which is crossing the mountain of the takeoff, the first portion of it. Then it's entering the small valley, which is just behind us, like that, in that direction. There are small hills in the middle of that valley that are usually good thermal triggers. Then it goes over another small mountain. Then it goes about the last higher portion of this task, which is this point here, and then finally to the next turn point, which is A11, with now change 16 kilometers radius. So basically this turn point is a little bit more in front. This is the old drawing, a little bit earlier. So as I explained, the reason for this is to make the turn point lower by altitude and theoretically easier to verify. So after this turn point will bring you on this is the highest mountain in the region, to the Peak Pelister, which is the dominating. When you take a look to the south, it's visible from all possible directions. This mountain then is exposed to the northern flow and northeast flow that we expect at that altitude, and this should be a good thermal point for you to start with the next leg, which is going partially over the same mountain that we crossed before, but this place is a little bit lower, and then we're entering the flats and we're going to the next turn point, which is V13 with 40 kilometers of radius. This is bringing you in the region that you fly yesterday, a little bit more eastwards, but you have idea how it looks and how it feels. From that point, we go back to the same goal as yesterday. We believe it's convenient for you, it's convenient for us. So if you're in goal, it will be very easy to retrieve you. It will be fast and efficient, so you will not waste hours in the bus. And this leg is going to the northwest, and it is going across the same flats that you flew yesterday. The only difference is, and I had many questions about this today, why we changed the end of speed section from 3 to 2, because now we are going in the parallel with that ridge, so we are entering on the optimized line through the flats. We did it many times, so it's safe. 2 kilometers is not interfering with nothing. As long as you're on the optimized line, you have no obstacles on your approach to the goal. So we're going to use a standardized end of speed section of 2 kilometers and line in the goal A07. On this route on the right is the village of Krivogaštari, you know, that big village before the landing place, but it's a little bit more east from the course line. So this is the only obstacle, which is fairly easy to be avoided because you have landing places all over the place. This is a task of optimized 90.5 kilometers by XC track, and the total distance, if you would like to control, is 233.6 kilometers. From the other information from today, we are turning to the right, and the task itself is race to goal, as we would like to keep it for the rest of the week if possible. There are not too many things to be mentioned. Same safety frequency, same contact to the headquarters. Yes?
A landing option on the first optimized leg. Do we have any landing options there?
Yes. In the first, as I said, so if you're really low in the first portion of the flight, so this leg is going over this mountain like that. So it's a bit tiny here, directly, but we have a takeoff on the opposite side and we have few landing spots there. But they are very tiny. It's really possible to land in this place. This is this whitish valley here. But it's not for many gliders. If you're a big crowd, you have to be really careful. There are plenty of places to land. They're in the longitudinal, they're not wide. So maybe it will be not possible to go directly into the wind. Wind could be from the side or depends on the thermal activity. It's a thermal place as well. So landing place in this very narrow valley here behind there are some, but for 1, 2, 3 gliders. If you're a big group, I don't know, I believe it will not happen. Just be careful because crowd can be a problem. Later on in the open spider, in this region is no problem all the way up to here. And then when you cross this mountain, in front of it, it's also total flatland with many villages and roads. So basically, reaching this point, before reaching this point, the landing options are in front. After that, point, of course, they're in the back, but it's going down anyway. If you cannot do it, it's clear that you have to go in this valley or in that one. So in reality, for sure, it's not that easy when you're flying here, but it's totally regular. There is nothing irregular in this region. Okay, something else? Okay, if there is nothing else, before going with the timings, I will do the fancy part of this briefing, which are the winners. So yesterday, we had, as I said, a successful task, and in the team ranking, in the third place, it was Team Niviuk. In the second place, we had Team Jin, and the winners of yesterday, Team Ozon. So now from the big companies, only Flow is missing, but I believe they will have time to catch up. Okay, in the women category, girls, the winner is Galen Kirkpatrick. This is one of very nice Macedonian wines. I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Also, Galen is getting a free dinner in our sponsor, which is the restaurant Malaga. It's a new facility in the middle of the town. It's exactly in the middle of the town. I will give you the details later on. So you're welcome to visit the place and to taste the food.
Thank you.
So, in the overall, we have the first two. Basically, what's the correct expression? The first ones are it's a tie. So we have two pilots winning the first place yesterday. So in the first place together are Jose Rebelo and Baptiste Lambert. So the Frenchman to say if the wine is good, and Jose, great. It's Jose, it's correct. Jose. Sorry. So Jose, correction of my language. So also I'm waiting for the feedback for this wine, and then as well they are getting dinner from our sponsor, restaurant Malaga in the center of the town. I will give you vouchers in the headquarters. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and now the timings.
Ah bah Laura, doucement, tu vois pas doucement.
Task committee. The same. Okay. We're gonna open officially. We're gonna open the window at 12. And the first fire gate will open at 1. We have plenty of time. If you are ready, you can go now. If somebody would like to fly more, you are welcome to go now. That is helping us to defeat the pressure on the table. Thank you.
So that was it. We will stop the live coverage here. Great weather, people are already flying. It's 11:30 and at 1 o'clock the takeoff is open, or the start gate is open, and pilots will start. You see nice cloud bases on Solunska Glava. See you later. Bye bye.